Some encouraging news on the Canadian economy today. The GDP reading for May was unchanged from April, but a decline was expected, and we are expecting to see a slight gain in June. So this means there is an expectation for annualized growth of 4.6% in Q2. That's according to estimates, while real GDP grew by 0.8% in the first quarter of this year. Now, we got big earnings in from two U.S. energy companies today, and both saw record profits with those higher oil prices. Now, at Chevron, we're talking about record profits of $11.6 billion in Q2. The company also boosting its share buyback, and that puts it on par with larger rival Exxon. This company saw its strongest quarterly performance in the company's history. Second quarter adjusted earnings per share beat estimates, and profits did hit that record of $17.9 billion. Canadian auto parts maker Magna International missed on its earnings per share in the second quarter, but it did boost its sales outlook. Now, markets on both sides of the border did see gains this week and this month. Data breaches hit a record high in Canada for a third straight year. This is according to a report from IBM Security, which analyzed experiences by 550 organizations globally over the past year, and 25 breaches in Canada were included. Now, it turns out that each breach cost Canadian companies $7 million per incident on average. And IBM points out those costs are often passed on to consumers. Canada recorded the third highest average cost of a data breach around the world. And not surprisingly, bank breaches are the most expensive. And one chocolate maker is warning there could be a Halloween candy shortage. The pandemic and the war in Ukraine creating supply concerns for almost every company around the world. And Hershey says it could have trouble meeting demand for Halloween and potentially Christmas as well because of shortages for raw ingredients and difficulties in securing suppliers. Now, Halloween is the busiest time of year for Hershey, making up about 10% of its sales, but it starts to ramp up production in the spring. The CEO says non-holiday items use the same production lines, and the company opted to focus on filling store shelves now rather than pivoting to seasonal items. Have a great weekend. In the City News Business Center, I'm Kris McCusker.